Before we get started on new stuff for today, I just want to make sure we remember how to do the birthday cake from last time. All right, so we're looking for the prime factors of 24. When we do the prime factors, we're starting with 24 on the bottom. That is the bottom of our cake. And over here, I'm just going to remind myself of prime numbers. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 5 is prime, 7 prime, and 11. All right, there's more than that, but these are usually the ones that we have to use. Okay, so I need to think about which one of these numbers goes into 24. 2 goes into 24, and it goes in 12 times. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 2 goes into 12 again. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. And 3 goes into 3 1 time. When I get to the 1, that means I'm done. So 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Next, 39. So 39 goes at the bottom. Factor prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. So 2 does not go into 39. 3 goes into 39. 3 goes into 39 13 times. I need a prime number that goes into 13. Well, 13 is actually another prime number. So 13 goes into 13 1 time. I get to the top. So the prime factors are 3 times 13. 49 goes at the bottom of our cake. Here are our prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11, but we know there are more. So 7 is a prime number that goes into 49. 7 goes into 49 7 times. And 7 goes into 7 1 time. So the prime factors of 49 are 7 times 7. 72 starts at the bottom. So 72 is even, so 72 is divisible by 2, and 2 goes into 72 36 times. 36 is divisible by 2, so 2 goes into 36 18 times. 18 can be divided by 2. 18 goes into divided by 2 9 times. And then another prime factor that goes into 9 would be 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And 3 is a prime number, so 3 divided by 3 is 1. So it looks like 72 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So we're going to talk about radicals vocabulary today. So this whole entire thing is called a radical. Okay, underneath the radical sign, we have the radicand. So whatever number is in here, whatever's in here is called the radicand. The number here in the corner is called the index. And sometimes there will be no number there. If there is no number there, then the index is 2. For example, the number under here is called the radicand. The number in front of here is called the index. So the index is 3 and the radicand is 125. Next, this is our radicand. Everything in there is the radicand. Everything under the radical sign. The 4 in the front is called the index. So the index is 4 and the radicand is 30xy. When you have an index of 4, we call that fourth root. Okay, so here, this is our radicand, all of that, 8 to the second. There is no number here. When there's no number, that means the index is 2. This is called a square root. Here's our radicand, 5d. There is no number here for the index, so we know the index is 2. Don't be confused. The 3 here is not the index. A large 3 in the front is called the coefficient. That means it is multiplying 3 times the square root of 5d. So what is the radicand? The radicand is 169x. What is the index? The index here is 3. The index here, there is no number here, so we know that the index has to be 2. True or false? The radicand is 3xy. This is false. The radicand is 3xy squared, not 3xy. This entire thing is the radicand. What is the xy called? Well, it's underneath the radical sign, so that means it is called the radicand. What is the 3 called? Well, the 3 is large. It's not a small number here in the corner. That means 3 is called the coefficient. We're going to write a radical whose index is 4 and the radicand is 9x. So we know the radicand goes under the radical, so that would be 9x right here. And if the index is 4, that means it goes right here in the corner. The radicand is 18xy, so that means that we are putting the 18xy under the radical sign, and the index is going to be 3. Write the radical whose index is 2 and radicand is 121. Well, we know radicand goes under the radical sign, so that should be 121. And when there's an index of 2, we put nothing here, so that is our final answer. We're looking for a coefficient of -3, index of 4, and a radicand of 36. So I like to start with the radicand. I know underneath the radical symbol it's going to be 36. My index is 4, and the coefficient means it's a large number in the front, so -3. So if your index is 2, we call that a square root. If your index is 3, we call that a cube root. If your index is 4, we call that a fourth root. And when your index is 5, we call it a fifth root. The last part of the assignment is to go to student.desmos.com, type in this code, and I want you to investigate what happens with inverses and radicals. After you're done, you're going to do the assignment that's due on Monday, April 27th. If you have any questions, let us know.